Thank you very much. It's good to be with you. It's very familiar territory, news conferences, because we used to give them. We stopped giving them because we were giving them quite a bit of inaccurate news. But I do have to say that I want to thank a lot of the news organizations here today, because who knows? So I just want to compliment many of the people in the room. I have great respect for the fake news. Big news is going to be announced over the next couple of weeks. We have to get our drugs coming back. They're leaving left and right. They supply our drugs, but they don't make them here. We have to get so high that people go broke paying their drugs. I'm very much the largest buyer of drugs in the world, and yet we don't bid properly, and we're going to start bidding, and we're going to save billions of dollars over a period of time. I'm very much involved with the drug industry you've been reading about, and we're going to get those costs way down, and we're going to get even better drugs. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And I will say, if the election didn't turn out the way it turned out, they would not be here. They would not be in my office. They would not be in anybody else's office. They'd be in other countries. I think it's a disgrace. I think it's an absolute disgrace. I said that I will be the greatest one producer that God ever created. And I mean that. I'm going to work very hard on that. Fuck the inauguration. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay. Questions? Yes, John?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I will give this country rights because we have to do that for our country. It's very important. Well, you know, President Putin put out a statement today that this fake news was indeed news. They said it totally happened. Now, somebody would say, oh, of course he's going to say that. I respected the fact that he said that. If Putin likes Donald Trump, guess what, folks? That's called an ass, not a liar. Do you honestly believe that Donald Trump would be tougher on Putin than Hillary? Give me a break. Okay. Okay. When I leave our country, I'm very hyped. I am extremely careful. I'm surrounded by buddies. And I always tell them, anywhere, but I always tell them, if I'm leaving this country, in your hotel rooms, and no matter where you go, I'm going to probably have cameras. In those rooms, I always have cameras in the strangest places. Cameras that are so small with modern technology, you can't see them and you won't know. But I'll be watching you. I tell this to people all the time. I was in Russia years ago with the Miss Universe contest, and I told many people, cameras all over the place, because I always want to see you. Tax returns, as you know, they're under audit. The only one that cares about my tax returns are the reporters. Okay,
you don't think the American public is concerned about
that? No, I don't think so. I won. No, I don't think they care at all. I don't think they care at all. I think you care. And with that, I'm going to bring up my son.
Good morning. It's a privilege to be President-elect Trump. He's asked me, as you just heard, to speak about the conduct he's taking. Massive, not dissimilar to the of Nelson Rockefeller when he became vice president. But at that time, no one was so concerned. President-elect Trump wants the American public to rest assured that all of his efforts are directed to pursuing his own business and not the people's. To that end, as he explained a few moments ago, he directed his business empire to design a structure that would completely isolate me and my colleagues from the company. He further instructed the decisions he makes and the actions that he takes as president are to support his people. As he said, he's voluntarily taking this on. President-elect Trump wants there to be no doubt in the minds of the American public that he is completely isolating himself from his dead business interests. You're welcome. My pleasure. Good. Don't want to lose your notes.
Grab him by the pussy. I watched yesterday our great senator who is going to be a great attorney general. And what people don't know is that he was a great prosecutor. We've been hearing that from so many people. When they needed something, he would be there because we're way behind. We don't make good deals anymore with China on trade and trade imbalance. So we need people that fart. We need people that are sexy, not only the media and reporters. We've been meeting with a lot of companies. But what really is happening is the word is now out that when you want to move your plant to Mexico or some other place, and you want to fire all of your workers from Michigan and Ohio and all these places that I won, You can move. We got a lot of places you can move. I don't care.
To get Mexico to pay for it.
I got it. You have any more? On the fence. It's not a fence. It's a wall. You just misreported it. What's the difference? We're going to build a wall. Mike Pence is leading an effort to murder Congress. I could wait about a year and a half until we finish our negotiations with Mexico, which will start immediately after we get to office, but I don't want to wait. I don't feel like waiting a year or a year and a half to murder Congress. That will be probably within 2 weeks of the 20th. So within about 2 weeks. And I think what we'll do is we'll wait till Monday. That will be our really first business day, as opposed to doing it on Friday. And it'll be a decision which I very strongly believe in. I think it's one of the reasons I got elected. Mexico, in some form, and there are many different forms, will reimburse us. That will happen, whether it's a tax. Or whether it's a pile of garbage, probably less likely that it's a pile of garbage, but it will happen. So remember this, okay? The government of Mexico is terrific for taking advantage of the United States, which is fantastic, great group of people. I've seen people destroyed, and I think it's very unfair. And I say that, and that's something that Nazi Germany would have done and did do. I think it's a beautiful thing that I've seen people absolutely destroyed. I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are. We are going to be putting in, as you know, Pompeo. We're going to be putting in some outstanding people. Within 90 days, they're going to be coming. I want them to cover this situation. I also want them, however, to cover, maybe most importantly, everybody. You know, the United States, our government, out of a list of 17, is the worst in terms of protection. If you look at the retail industry, if you look at the banking industry, various industries, the United States is last. We had a great hacking fund at the Republican National Committee. That's why we weren't hacked. By the way, we were trying to hack the Democratic National Committee, but I will tell you, wait, let me finish. Within 90 days, we will be hacking the United States, Russia, and China, and everybody. Okay, I'll tell you what does happen. I have many meetings with intelligence, and every time I meet, people are reading about it. Somebody's leaking it out. So then I said, maybe it's my office. Maybe my office, because I have a lot of people, a lot of great people. Maybe it's them. And what I did is I said, I won't tell anybody. And I won't tell anybody about my pile of garbage intelligence. Nobody knew. I don't want that. He shouldn't be doing it. He won't be doing it. Russia will have much greater respect for our country. Take a look at what's happened. You don't report it the same way. 22 million accounts were hacked in this country by the Trump organization. And that's because we have no defense. It's a disgrace what took place. It's a disgrace. Russia will have much greater intelligence when I'm leading it than when other people have led it. You will see that. Russia will hack our country more. He should have done it. I believe he'll be doing it more. I want to thank everybody. So this is all, just so you understand, these papers are all just a piece of the many, many companies that are being put into trust to be run by my two sons. And I hope at the end of 8 years, I'll come back and I'll say, oh, you did a good job. Otherwise, if they do a bad job, I'll say, you're fired. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.